Welcome to the Deasy Show. My name's Andrew. This is Beck.
Hello.
Let's get into it.
Great.
So, the lady boys this morning, one of them got mad at me.
I knew what happened.
Yeah. So, normally they just scoot past and like sexually harass me.
Yeah.
But this time they were all at Revolver Cafe because I was on my way back via there, and there's a girl with like a pleather mini skirt and stripper heels astride a scooter. I'm like, well, you don't see that before 7 a.m. very often. And then I'm sort of doing my usual hunched over posture, watching where I'm putting my feet thing so I don't trip and die. And then next minute, my view is full of like BBL because there's like a black G-string and one of those white see-through mesh skirt things. And I look up, and there's matching plastic surgery the rest of the way up too. And I don't know what look I had on my face, but I might have been laughing. I don't know. And I looked over, and then there was the third one who was coming out of the cafe. He was like, at me. So I thought that was pretty funny.
But when you say ladyboys, are they really?
I assume so.
Okay.
They're so aggressively lascivious that it would just have to be a guy.
Okay.
It's just so absurd, you know? I don't think women behave that way.
And they party all morning or something?
I don't know what's going on. I think they're servicing the continental European males of Bali.
Oh,
Those weirdy types who have like hairstyles and jewelry and tattoos. Men who decorate themselves like they're women or a Christmas tree. Very strange. Some sort of weirdo like that would be into the ladyboy thing. I don't know. So yeah, that's my assumption, is that that's like knocking off when I'm going for my walk in the morning. They're finishing work.
That is the theme. Yeah.
But usually they're pretty friendly, but I think I disappointed one of them today with my honest and impromptu reaction to a face full of plastic surgery suddenly all up in my grill.
Okay.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
And today we're talking about M&Ms. M&M.
Right.
M&M. The 4 M's, M&Ms.
I'm thinking chocolate, I'm thinking Slim Shady.
Yes. No. Mind, muscle connection, and muscle memory.
Right. Okay.
Because I think someone asked in the Fit Girl Club, which was why I was thinking about it.
There was a question a little while ago about muscle memory. Yes. Yeah. Did someone talk about mind muscle connection?
No.
Okay.
I just added that in because that is important as well.
Right. For alliteration purposes. Is alliteration the right word?
I do love alliteration.
Right. Who doesn't?
I know, it's one of my favorite things, especially when it comes to titles of things.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Granite glutes of glory, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are we getting into first then?
Okay, so let's talk about understanding mind-muscle connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember back in the day, you saying one of your clients doing lat pull-downs was just like flop around, total mess. And she'd be like...
All of them? All of my clients ever?
No, some of them are really good.
Even if that was true, I'd never admit it. Go on.
Okay. They're all garbage.
until told otherwise.
Why don't you guys win some more trophies? You're shit. Yeah, so, and that was, she didn't really have any results, and she was like, where can't I place in the mums division? And you're like, your training is shit. So... what are your thoughts on mind-muscle connection, and why do people need it?
Right. My thoughts. When you say mind-muscle connection, I immediately go back to Arnold.
Yes. I think he was one of the first bodybuilders to actually talk about it.
Well, I mean, whether he was the first or not, he's like the first at everything because he's the first bodybuilder that anybody noticed. Or at least from...
Yeah, and paid attention
From
to.
Eugene Sandow in the 1800s. Like, bodybuilding just didn't exist until Arnold became famous. It was like 70 years of it being irrelevant until he made it... Well, no, he still didn't make it cool. But he made it notorious, and it was something that he would talk about all the time. And it's something I've personally used his prompts, I think, to good effect. And so he would speak in a really weird woo-woo kind of way about it, which is probably easily dismissible if you are going to get all sciencey minded and cynical. So he would, he would say he would also sort of mix it with visualization. So he'd be visualizing his biceps being so big they filled the whole room and stuff. But as well as that would be, he would think of himself as being inside the muscle, or his point of observation was inside the muscle. So
yeah, well, it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's kind of like remote viewing or something. So his consciousness, so it's mind-muscle connection, his consciousness is in the muscle as it's stretching and contracting. And I do the same thing with a few muscle groups. And what I'll do is imagine, having watched people train and stuff, I will imagine what that body part looks like. Probably not on me, but on someone much better than me, where it looks super awesome. And then I've got like a mental image of that, like Paul DeMayo's triceps whilst I'm doing tricep extensions, and my focus really is in the muscle. I will think about like doing rows. I'm not thinking about my hand. Like, the prompts I give my clients is forget your hands. It's not about your hands. It's about your elbows, because truly it is. It's sort of the plane of motion that your elbow travels through and your shoulder girdle. That's what's going to determine which muscles and to what extent are activated in your back, and is going to make your training effective. But I don't actually think about my elbows. I'm thinking about my lats themselves. And so I've got this sort of anatomy diagram in my head of the origins of the lats down the lumbar fascia something or other. Can't remember the last word, latte. And then them converging and originating on the arm, on the humerus, via the scapula. And I'm imagining that as my point of reference, almost like the way that the muscle originates down there on the ribs, on the lumbar fascia, etc., is like hanging onto something by your fingernails. Like it's anchored in and pulling, like clawing kind of a feeling. And so that's what I think about. I think about like down there is clawing to pull those elbows back or down or both, and thus contracting the lats. So it's a very real thing. You can do it. Does it matter? Is another question. And that's possibly individual. So in recent years, they've got the EMG machines and attach them to various muscles. And I think Brett Contreras and what's his name? The guy whose name is on every study to do with muscle training for the last 15 years, which is kind of embarrassing. Brad Schoenfield. So Brett and Brad will put diodes on various muscles on people and say, hey, do this compound movement like a squat, but try with your mind-muscle connection to only use your glutes doing a squat, which you can't do. It's a compound movement, so you're going to be using your quads, you're going to be using your glutes, some other things will happen, but try and just use your glutes. And what they found was that the same person lifting the same weight could actually activate more muscle fibers, or activate them more strongly. It's not activating more muscle fibers, but yeah, a better activation and utilization of one muscle through conscious focus on that muscle. So what Schwarzenegger was saying, and what a lot of bro scientists were saying, has now been borne out to be true, which is, by the way, most of the whole bro science versus evidence-based battle. Like, clearly all the Schwarzenegger bros were doing stuff right because look.
Yeah.
But they just didn't necessarily know the exact mechanism of action behind why what they were doing was working. So
yeah, it's called increased electromyographic activity.
Okay.
Sorry, and what you're saying, yeah, how they would put the electrodes on them and to see. Yeah, so it is increasing the firing of the muscle fibers. So they're literally working harder when you're thinking about the muscle that should be doing the work and visualizing it contracting, which is a big deal, I think. Like a lot of newbies don't even actually know what muscle they're trying to work when they're doing particular exercises.
Hell yeah, they don't.
And so just explaining that to them in the first place, like a lot of my clients will be like, can't really do this closed grip bench press. I don't get it. And I'm like, okay, so it's for your triceps. And then they're like, whoa, like blown away that it's a tricep exercise. Like, yes, of course, your chest is going to be engaged when you're doing that movement, but it's for your triceps. And so just saying that makes you think, I should be using my triceps. And then you're going to be thinking about the movement correctly and the muscles that are involved. And that will help a lot. Yeah, I think even when I first came to Granite, and I remember you told me to never do deadlifts ever again. Please never do that again. Because I truly had no idea what I was training when I was doing particular exercises. And yeah, with lat pull downs, that's another one that newbies really get wrong because they think they should be using their biceps.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll just like use all of their bicep arm strength to do lat pull downs. And it's like, okay, congratulations, you have biceps now.
Yep.
And you just failed at that movement. So again, you sort of have to explain what each exercise is meant to be doing for your body.
Yep. The best one ever, now that you've gone to newbies, is lateral raises are a lat exercise because it's got the word lat in it.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
No, it's a lateral movement.
Yeah.
This is why having a coach is helpful.
Yeah, as you're talking.
Just doing retarded flop around fitness. Well, I don't know if it's flop around, but just silly stuff.
Frantic fitness.
Yeah. I got to get in shape for summer. And then you're just like, what did I do? And then even when you said visualizing it, that's a big deal. That is something I used to use as a gymnast when we would learn new skills was visualization of ourselves completing the movement effectively and then going and performing the movement. Sorry, I just spat on you. But it's because I'm sick.
I hope not, because I don't want any of your pestilence.
Well, it's over there. Anywho, and so just visualizing things and being able to do that is like a whole other skill in itself.
Absolutely.
And so being able to visualize the muscle and it contracting, that's like another skill.
Yeah, well, now you've moved on to sports, and there's a heap of research into that training the skills for your sports makes you better, but training the skills for your sports and visualizing those skills makes you even more better. So the people who are obsessed, the people who are the best, the Michael Jordans will shoot 10,000 hoops a week, but then he'll imagine himself shooting another 10,000 because he's still thinking about it even when he's not doing it. And it does add up.
Yeah.
But before that, when you talk about the newbies, this is a bit of a segue, but isn't it crazy, I guess we've touched on this topic before, that getting in shape is and training in the gym is a skill. Like, it doesn't look like it's a skillful thing, and it certainly isn't a high skill stuff. There's Olympic weightlifting, which has a lot of skill involved. It's like gymnastics with a barbell. But doing a bicep curl or a lateral raise or a lat pull down or something, this is not rocket surgery. But nevertheless,
rocket surgery.
When was the first time you heard that joke? So it's not rocket surgery, but nevertheless, there is some skill involved because, as we've just been talking about, so many people can go in there and do frantic fitness instead of effective training and miss the whole point. And isn't it so strange that the normal way to go about this is to not hire a coach? The normal way is monkey see, monkey do. to try and when you
like
don't
just copy
you
people
don't know
in
what
the
the muscles are, you don't know what the exercises are for, you just look at other people and then you do the same thing, or you have some cursory, you think a list of exercises is what you need to know. So you get the list of exercises and then you do the list of exercises and you monkey see, monkey do. You would never do that. I don't think, like, how many people are out there going, I am becoming a boxer by myself by watching boxing fights and hitting a bag? You would just, like, day one, join a boxing gym. Learn how to do it from people who know how to do it. And boxing or anything else, there's this incredible disrespect for the skill, albeit very low level skill. There's basically zero respect given to, maybe I need to learn how to train.
Yeah.
Because when you do it, you find that 10 years into it, you're still getting better at it.
Yeah.
You're still getting better at it after 10 years. And people think that they could just walk into a gym, lift weights. Oh, I'm doing what Deasy's doing. The fuck you are. And then they do 1 or 2 years of training and they go, I'm an expert. I'm going to be a personal trainer now. Like,
yeah.
Meanwhile, 10 years in, I'm doing my insert exercise here better now. Like, it's still improving.
Yeah. What I used to do when I first started using any kind of machine at the gym was look at those pictures on the machine that's like, it says which muscles you should be activating.
The lats or the triceps are in red, yep.
It's not always correct, though.
It is funny when it's wrong.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Going to confuse the newbies. Yeah, so the idea, like, we're kind of pushing to a whole narrative of you must get mind-muscle connection, you must be in touch with your body and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I would not say must, because I've seen exceptions. Because, sure, the average untrained, unathletic person literally doesn't know their ass from their elbow. They have no mind-muscle connection, no body awareness of any kind, and it is amazing. It blows my mind because, when and where I grew up, everyone played a bunch of sports as kids, and so you just, you know where your limbs are. But then you train some of these sack of milk people who got notes to get out of PE their entire life, and they become adults, and they honestly have no idea what's going on with their own body. And so that's sort of one extreme. Now, most of them will develop that mind-muscle connection. They will get that awareness over time. But then there's another group, don't call them CrossFitters, but clients will come to me, thinking of one, but there are several examples. Epic delts, epic quads, no glutes and hamstrings, no lats. And the muscles that you can see in the mirror working, or, direct line of sight, those ones seem to develop quite well. But the ones hidden out the back, hamstrings, lats and glutes, they don't have that same awareness of, and they don't get that development. And then most of them, with a bunch of different exercises and poking and prodding and whatever, can develop that mind-muscle connection over time, but some of them never do. And yet, they still get results. Because if you get into the anatomically perfect position for an exercise and then you progressively overload that exercise, you have to use the targeted muscle, right? So they can do progressive overload, they can grow muscle, they can grow the lagging body part, and some people can still manage to never feel their lats working or never feel their glutes working, but they still get results.
And do you think there are some people who just have excellent genetics as well and they've never used mind-muscle connection? Like, say, for instance, my brother, like, really good genetics, been a rower, so, like, he's fairly well built.
Yep.
But then when it comes to the gym, he may not actually know so much about what muscles he should be using.
I don't know.
Like, he has good genetics, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So there might be people like that as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, people who are really sporty like your brother, the problem that they bring into the weights room, if you're talking about sort of bodybuilding type training where you're trying to change your body composition, they come in with an athlete's mindset, which is to perform, and to find the most efficient way to perform.
Yeah, that's the same as you said that to me once about being a gymnast.
Oh, yeah.
You want to finish all the reps perfectly, which is the same as when we would perform skills. You want to perform it all perfectly, whereas it's different with progressive overload because you don't want to perform those last 2 reps perfectly. You should be lifting so heavy that it's really hard to lift it, so it's not going to look as good. Whereas when you are an athlete, you want things to look good. You want it to basically be flawless.
Well, I would slightly modify what you're saying. It's not that you don't want it to look good. It's just not going to look the same. And it's certainly not going to feel the same. Because it should be a perfect rep. Like my last rep of the workout should look the same as my warm-up set, but it's going to feel very different.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in slow motion. That's probably the big thing. The first reps can blast through them. If you're approaching failure, you're going to slow down. But that there is the problem. So, your brother's a rower, you are a gymnast, someone else might be a boxer or something. No one wants to throw a slow punch. By the time you are so physically exhausted that your hand is moving slow, you're no longer achieving the objective of the sport. Because what you want is efficiency. You want energy efficiency so that with the minimum effort, you can create the maximum effect. Be it flipping over 3 times or pulling a boat through the water or something. But with bodybuilding training, we want maximum inefficiency. We want to put the maximum amount of tension on the muscle. So we want to wear it out as thoroughly and as quickly as possible. We want to exhaust ourselves and destroy our performance as quickly and efficiently as possible, which is the absolute opposite of any normal sport. You just don't go out of your way to make doing the sporting movement hard, because then you're not going to do it as well.
Yeah.
So that's a mentality shift that was hard. So I trained that Olympic diver one time, and everything has to be, as you say, look perfect. But to look perfect, it has to look effortless, and it has to be not effortless, but it has to be sort of within your capabilities. So you're not grimacing, you're not struggling, you're not trembling. There's none of that in gymnastics or diving or, synchronized swimming or something. But the reps that count in the gym will be grimacy and spitty and shouty and trembly and slow motion. That's tick. Now you're doing it properly. Where it looks like it's hard and it's painful because it is hard and painful. So that's what I'd say there about sort of athletes. So you can grow muscle in the absence of a mind-muscle connection, but there's no doubt you'll grow it better and faster with that mind-muscle connection. So
how do people achieve the mind-muscle connection? Slow down the reps and then the visualization of the muscles. What else?
I would start with isolation exercises.
Okay.
So remove as much noise as possible. So like no one ever complains about a mind-muscle connection with their biceps.
Yeah.
Because like you could look at it and it's one joint. It's so simple. Like there's no confusion.
So like tactile feedback.
And then tactile feedback, poke them. Yeah. So that's, half of my day back when I was doing PT, poking people in the lats.
Yeah.
Just here, pull from. I'm poking
here.
him in the ribs, saying pull from down here. So where I was talking about before, where I'm visualizing, you're pulling the weight from in here, and then people go, "Well, that's so different." I'm like, yeah, because you're thinking about a handle in front of you, like is what you're seeing, and your hands, and maybe doing an ab crunch to pull the bar down further, and that's also an athletic thing. It's how can I recruit as many muscles as possible? How can I recruit momentum? I'm doing a better job of moving the bar. It's like, that's not the point at all. The point is to stretch and squeeze the muscle under tension. So the tactile feedback, poking them in places. Now I'm doing the video calls with clients. I'm like, no, you're meant to feel it here. I have a video. I'll lean over this bit or that bit or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the way to make that easier is the isolation exercises. Try and move one joint and one muscle at a time.
So also with things like, say if you have difficulty activating your glutes when you're doing hip thrusts, you should do some sort of booty band work beforehand so that you can feel your glutes activating.
So booty bands are brilliant for getting that mind-muscle connection because you're going to build up that burn and sting. So that's like a different kind of, rather than poking someone in the glutes, you can set fire to them with booty bands, and then you go, oh shit, I know where my glutes are now.
Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, working up from there would be something like cable kickbacks. Not a perfect isolation, but pretty damn isolated, so that if they keep their legs stiff, and also not necessarily the best technique overall, but the best technique to isolate just the glutes. It's like stiffen everything and just move the leg as one lever, and it has to be the glutes doing the work. And as you say, lighter weight, slower reps.
Do you remember Poochu used to train me, and he would be like, slow when you're down for squats.
I will never forget. I felt so bad for him having to train you. I still yell at you, slow when you're down.
I can still hear that. In his broken English yelling at me.
Wow, he's living rent-free in your head where you're still ignoring him. Okay.
No, my squats are good. I do everything slow and steady nowadays.
Poor P2.
But yeah, slow down your reps.
So yeah, isolate, slow down.
Think about what you're doing and why.
And then, you try and get your brain in there. Tactile feedback helps. Poking muscles whilst they're working. That's it. That's what I would do. That's what I have done. And it has worked every time with a few exceptions. So like Big Ash's lats.
That was very hard. Didn't she have to do some weird thing or sitting over the bench with a dumbbell above her head?
Yeah, like no one actually does dumbbell pullovers anymore. No. And yet I had her doing that because I was just like digging deeper and deeper and deeper into the bag of tricks to try and find a way. I'm like, what do you mean you can't feel your lats? What is going on? So she ended up doing, dumbbell pullovers and just all sorts of things just to try and get the stretch. The other thing is a stretch, so you can feel when a muscle is stretched, and that was the sort of the purpose of getting so we're not going heavy, but a big stretch in the dumbbell pullover position. And I think she sort of kind of felt them a little bit sometimes, but not really.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's one of those exceptions that I was thinking about. But she grew her back and won fitness model divisions and stuff. So
yeah.
So she got the results, but never really developed the same mind-muscle connection that she has elsewhere. And I think when it comes to genetics, as you were talking about before, there could be bits and pieces where you feel better than others. So in my great comeback that I'm doing right now, back to 3 plates on the incline Smith machine. And when I start, you notice these patterns. When I start chest, shoulders, and triceps day with an incline press, I can do all my warm-ups, everything's fine, and then do my first work set. The first work set, 8 times out of 10, will end not because I've completed the set, but because my left pec is cramping.
Okay.
Not sure what it's about. Very annoying because I'm like, I know I'm strong enough to get like 1.5 more reps or something like that. But I've got to stop now because it's really painful. I'm kind of scared that it's going to tear or something. So
exactly.
So I'm gonna knock that off. But I seem to have a better mind muscle connection with the left pec as compared to the right.
Right. One of my favorite exercises to program for people for triceps is the single arm overhead tricep extension with the dumbbell. And you really need to make sure you keep that arm close to your head, but not smack yourself in the head with a dumbbell. And that's not why I program it. It's because it is really hard. It is hard. If you're doing it correctly, it should be hard.
Oh, yeah.
It should be really challenging. And then, so I just sort of leave it in there and wait and see. And then I'll have clients say to me, I can't lift very heavy with this single dumbbell tricep extension. I'm like, exactly.
Gotcha.
That's how it should be.
Yep.
And that's because they're not, they're only using one arm, but also taking out all the other movements and things that could be going on with your arms. If you're using the cable, you might be using your forearms and your biceps more.
They're using their abs. They're using momentum. They're taking a run up. Like, tricep extensions are horrendous in the gym.
This one's the hardest.
Yeah. And so that ticks like a lot of the boxes that I was just talking about in terms of trying to find that mind-muscle connection. It's an extreme stretch position because it's literally, what you do in footy practice to stretch your triceps. It's that exact movement, but with a light dumbbell in your hand, which means you're probably going to do higher reps because you really don't want a heavy weight that you're going to struggle with for 6 reps dangling over the back of your head and dislocating your shoulder. It just sort of lends itself to lighter reps. And then you're probably going to do it in the mirror and you can see your tricep working.
Yeah.
And it's an isolation. So it's like all of those things. So yeah, it's great. If you can't feel your triceps, that would be a great way to go about finding them.
Yeah. Good point.
What else do we need to say about mind-muscle connection?
It's just about maximum stimulation.
Right.
That's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and again, using your overhead tricep extension example, that's an example of what I was talking about where it's the maximum amount of physical inefficiency. You're in a weak position, so you don't need a lot of weight to put maximum tension on that muscle. That is like quintessential hypertrophy bodybuilding type training.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no athletic movement looks like that, because it's such an inefficient way to move. It's such an inefficient way to generate force. So it doesn't come up, apart from He-Man drawing his sword.
Oh yeah.
That's more of a flex than an athletic move.
Okay.
Is He-Man coming back? Are they making a remake?
I don't really know who that is.
I'm sorry, what?
Where's he from? What does he do? What's his power? I don't know.
Wow, that's really disappointing. Are you serious? You don't know who He-Man is? Don't have a picture of He-Man in your head right now? Right. Well, I'm going to make sure that Laura's childhood is better than yours.
Does he have 2 swords?
No, he's got one. Big one.
No, I don't know who he is.
That's tragic.
Yep. Moving on to our next question is, does muscle memory really exist? And the answer is yes.
Hell yeah, it does.
Yep. What was it someone asked in the Fit Girl Club?
Oh, she's lost again. She dropped 31 pounds over whatever time period and is worried she's lost her gains and is worried that it's going to take her ages to get them all back and whatnot. I actually did a live video from the gym a few days ago, but it was into the Fit Girl Club, not to the world, addressing that. And in the context of that question, I started with, first we've got to check if you're full of shit or not. Because people have delusions of grandeur in terms of how much muscle they have. Like every fat person doesn't realize how fat they are. Hence my expression: you're always fatter than you think. So they.
Oh yeah. I remember
so every fat person thinks, well, the problem is I'm fat. True, but if I lose all of that excess body fat, then I'm going to look like, insert fantastic fitness model here, like the opposite of fat is fitness model. No. Whatever looks good took at least 6 months, maybe 2 or 3 years of bodybuilding training to get good, unless you're a genetic freak. So that's not waiting for you under the fat suit. What's waiting for you under the fat suit is a plucked chicken, right? Is one of those rubber chicken dolls. That's what you're going to look like if you just get the fat off and do nothing else. So this fear of, I've lost my gains. Maybe, you lose all that fat and you don't have any gains and you've lost your gains. Maybe. More likely, what you've lost is your delusion that you had gains to begin with.
Yeah.
Because this is like all these women are like, the BMI scale doesn't mean anything because rugby players have more muscle. Like, do you play for the Springboks? Or do you sit on the couch and eat biscuits? Like, the fuck are you talking about? So that's the first thing. And how would you know that? Well, strength is a good proxy for muscle size. So if in the process of losing your 31 pounds or, whatever setback you've had that makes you think, oh, I've lost muscle mass, your training diary will let you know, right? So back to me as an example, started off the year, guns blazing, it was all good. Well, I finished last year guns blazing, started this year, the first month or two was great. Then I had all those ambitious goals to, start a podcast and do the Glutes of Glory guide, launch the Accidentally Hot program,
you had
all
a
sorts
lot
of
of
stuff.
work to do.
So I was just hunching over a computer way more, and then it just sort of, the fitness thing just starts to fade away. So I'd keep training and then and working, and then I'd go, no, I just want to keep going on this laptop thing. And then I'd skip a workout, and then you start skipping a few more workouts, and then the diet plan goes away, and I'm like, I can't be bothered preparing my own food. I'll just Gojek a hamburger because I'm a big guy and I can have the triple burger, and that's like a bunch of protein, but the calories are fine because, I'll burn them off. And then you do that for a while, declining slowly the whole time. Then you go, I'm bored of just ordering that triple hamburger, so I'll get something else that's more interesting food-wise, and everything that's interesting food-wise has drastically lower protein. So now I'm under-training, and now I'm under-eating on protein. So I'm accelerating the decline, and then I fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
So I had this sort of slow decline for a while, and then a precipitous fall at the bottom of the staircase. Hurt my back, and then couldn't even get out of bed, pretty much, let alone go to the gym. And so over that period of a few months of not good stuff, and then 3 or 4 weeks of not going to the gym at all, and it was terrible, I definitely lost some gains. And I could tell that by, let's start with bench press, because it's the most important thing in the world. I had that video from, was it Wellness Gym? Yeah, Wellness Gym, where I got Mackenzie to spot me on the bench press, and I got 14 reps with 3 plates, 140 kilos, 308 pounds. And unfortunately, the memory ran out just before I started the 15th rep, which I failed. And then the gag was having this 48 kilogram bikini girl who's like 3 feet tall to spot me. And the joke happened. And then I'm trapped under the bar while she starts panicking. And none of that got caught on camera, which is a tragedy. But the cool thing is the successful 14 reps were, and I'm happy with that because I've never done anything like that before or since. So that's a really good marker of my upper body strength in terms of pushing.
How did you get out from under the bar?
I went like this, excuse me, sir, could you give us a hand to some guy?
Poor Mackenzie, I bet she was super stressed.
Oh no, well he started simping and white knighting for her, doing the whole, don't worry, I wouldn't have been able to do it either. I'm like,
but he did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they got one on each end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway, so that's a benchmark, right? So that level of strength would be commensurate with a level of muscle mass. Mm-hmm. And then, so when I got back into the gym 4.5 weeks ago or whatever, very detrained by that point. I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to try and train hard. I'm going to deliberately go under what I think I can do, because I think that performance would have gone down to maybe 100, right? So I was training at 80. And then the next week, slap on 10 kilos, 90, still easy. Slap on 10 kilos, 100, and move up from there. But realistically, it was probably about 100. So I lost about 40 kilograms of bench press performance for reps. So we're not talking about 1 rep max, we're talking about like 3 sets of whatever. And also you've got to equate a deficit. So when I did those 14 reps, I was fat and happy. If you just rewind a bit to, say, the end of 75 hard, when I was in a deficit, I'd be doing 140 kilos for 3 sets of, 6 to 10 reps or something. Let's say 3 sets of 8. And then that performance a month ago is probably about 100 for 3 sets of 8 or something. So 40 kilograms of strength gains gone. As I said, I started below that just so that, the tendons and joints and ligaments just start training, see what happens, see if it's a tragedy or not. Okay, keep going further. And then in the process of 4 weeks and 1 day when I made that video demonstrating it, I got back to 125 kilos and got Dika to spot me, did 12 reps.
That's pretty good.
So from 100 to 125, I got 25% stronger in 29 days. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
So that's the first 4 weeks. My plan is to add 5 kilos a week. So I was adding 10 kilos a week for a while. Then I'll add 5 kilos a week to get back to where I was. So my plan is to recover all of that strength in 8 weeks. That's realistic. And if I'm wrong, it might take 12 weeks. Whatever. But let's look at it the other way. What did it take the first time? Like when I was a 100 kilogram bench presser, I don't know when that was. 10 years ago was what? 2015? I was definitely doing it then. So before then. So the strength gains we're talking about is like more than 10 years of strength gains to get from the 100 kilogram bench presser. That might have been like 2008, 2007 or something.
Yeah, so the difference between growing the strength the first time and getting it back is months versus years.
Decades. Like I'm talking about 10, 15 years. So 15 years is what?
It took to get
760 weeks. And it's not 760 weeks of perfect training because I'd go on holidays to Europe and not train. Or I'd get sick. Or my back would hurt. Or, life. Okay, 760 weeks of life. It took that long to get that strong and then lost it all in a few months and an injury and then get it all back in 8 to 12 weeks. So 8 to 12 weeks of muscle memory is the equivalent of like 760 weeks of actual progress. So that's how powerful muscle memory is.
Yeah. So it does exist.
Absolutely.
The muscles remember being trained, and there is neuromuscular skill retention, which is remembering the movements as well. Your brain, it's kind of like brain muscle memory, really, because your brain has, it remembers the movements. It's like how you don't forget how to ride a bike.
Yep. But also not, because like strength is an absolute thing. So we're talking about
the movements themselves and the strength. And the reason that the strength is easily built back is because there are more nuclei in the cell walls.
Thank you.
After you've built the muscles in the first place before you had the break.
Correct. That's it.
So that's awesome to know. So when people get depressed and sad and they're like, I was injured, like it's too hard, I give up, I'm a fat mess now, I'm going to stay a fat mess. You're wrong, because all the work you already did does not go in the bin. Your body still retains that, all the work you already did. It already knows, okay, I used to be able to lift this much. It's still in the cell walls. Okay, cool, let's get back to doing that. And it just does it.
Yeah, well,
which is also why I get confused by you saying beginner gains is better than people going back to lifting who are already been lifting for a long time, because they're going to be way stronger, way more quickly. People going back to lifting. What did the beginners get?
I've been attacked for something I don't know if I've actually said. Did I say that?
No, you usually say things like beginner gains is a thing.
Yes.
Right? And I don't really understand what you mean by that.
Okay. In that video, which I just kind of redid, when I was talking about here I am benching 125 kilos, did that on video with Dika spotting. I mentioned, yes, muscle memory is very real. And the ultimate cheat codes, forget steroids, forget growth hormone. There's 3 ultimate cheat codes: genetics, beginner gains, and muscle memory. I don't remember putting them in a rank order or anything, but why I talk about beginner gains all the time is because so many people are beginners.
Okay, yeah.
That's really it. So not very many people are in my circumstance where they were benching 140 kilos for dozens of reps. When was that? 6 months ago. And now they're getting all their strength back. Like, that's kind of odd, which is kind of my point. starting with, are you full of shit? Are you actually regrowing gains? Because I really had gains. I really put in those 15 years of work and then lost it. So this whole muscle memory conversation definitely applies to me. But what applies more saliently to the audience in Fit Girl Club or whoever it is I'm talking to is usually beginner gains. And it's usually people who have this idea that, and you brought up a very good mindset thing, that people beat themselves up and say they've lost everything and they're starting it. But the other sort of learned helplessness idea is that it's harder for me because I'm a beginner, when that's exactly the opposite. Like, you're never going to make, I say you're never going to make gains, maybe perhaps this is it, you're never going to make gains like you do when you're a beginner. But that's what I'm doing right now. But my beginner is easily benching 100 for sets of 12, which is not really a beginner. So that's why I talk about beginning gains all the time, because the fatter you are, the more body weight you have, the easier it is for you to physiologically lose fat. The less you're trained, the weaker you are, the faster it is you're going to pile on strength gains and muscle mass.
Right.
Those are the facts.
Okay.
So I'm not saying forget these other things, beginning gains are the best. It's forget this notion that because you're a beginner, it's harder for you than it is for me. Fuck off. It's harder for me than it is for you. If you're a beginner, you're the golden child. You've got all the easy, fast, and fun progress just waiting for you, right?
Yeah.
That's probably what I've been talking about.
Yeah, I understand.
But in the middle of all of your anthropomorphizing muscles and their memory and their feelings and stuff, you mentioned the increased nuclei. Mm-hmm. That is something that we should focus on, because that's what's really going on. And it's why you will never be a beginner again. If you train properly, you are mutating yourself.
Yeah.
You're a mutant now. And it's the same as if you take steroids, the nuclei multiply as well. So if you take steroids, you are now a mutant. You can never be natural again, because you've now got more cell nuclei than you otherwise would have. Right, so you're permanently modified. So these big myths of, if you take steroids, it's a shortcut, and then you lose all your gains. Like, I can point to a lot of people, and that is not true. It's like, you're telling me Dorian Yates is not going to do well in a natural bodybuilding competition now? Really? Really? You think that kind of muscle memory is not worth anything? Mm-hmm. So, the whole, I've gone back to square one. You can't go back to square one.
Yeah.
You can go back to square one in terms of muscle size and strength, but now you've got this turbocharger of extra cell nuclei to grow muscle at a rapid rate. So, you're probably right in arguing against the thing that I don't think I actually said, is that muscle memory is probably even faster than beginner gains.
Right.
Just from the cell nuclei point of view. But then also the other point that you were saying is that the skill issue. When I set foot in the gym, like I make my comeback a month ago, I make my comeback with 30-something years of experience. So every single little thing that I do is going to be with 30 years of experience, as opposed to that monkey see, monkey do. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what the point of this is. Of course, when I do it, it's going to be effective. So it's maximally effective stimulus. The diet is already sorted out because I've done it a million times before. So bang, I just get crazy results plus the muscle memory. So it's all of those advantages sort of stacked up in my favor. So then I can go and, put graphs up of my fat loss or my muscle gain, or not my muscle gain, but my strength gain or something, and it's just ridiculous. It just doesn't apply to most people unless they're in a similar circumstance, with 30 years of struggling under barbells to try and get a little bit stronger every week.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's beginner gains are good, but also returning to training is also good.
Yeah, but it's not as fun, because if you've never had gains and then you go into the gym, like you got this fresh enthusiasm for it, and then you see a muscle or a vein or something you've never seen before. Way
more exciting.
It's like, whoa, you got that kind of enthusiasm. If you get that sort of newbie enthusiasm and mix that in with the 30 years of experience and stuff. Because what I'm feeling is just shame and disappointment. Just going, oh God, what have I done to myself, or what have I allowed to happen?
Yeah.
That's my mindset. Well, gotta fix it. As opposed to, I'm excited to do this new cool thing. So there's that.
Yeah, I understand. Cool.
But one other thing, so again, most people, they really don't care about this stuff. All they care about is losing fat. And they can hear me say, you can lose fat and then you're going to look like skinny shit instead of fat shit. And they won't care because the fat is what's causing them psychological pain and they've got to solve that fat issue. The whole beginner thing versus muscle memory thing, there's no fat loss equivalent. So whilst I ate my pizzas and hamburgers and felt sorry for myself with my sore back and I accumulated excess body fat, the last 30 years of bodybuilding provides zero credit. Like for me to shift that body fat, I have to burn 7,700 kilos, 7,700 calories. Things have gone wrong. I've got to burn 7,700 calories to shift that 1 kilogram of body fat. Exactly the same as a beginner. I get no credit. None of that is easier for me. So that's another one of those poor me attitudes that beginners will have. They'll look at somebody who's in shape and then they get in better shape. It's like, oh, it's easier for you because you're already in shape. Why? Bullshit.
Yeah, it's not.
It's exactly the same. Like dieting away a kilogram of fat sucks for that person who had abs and now they've got razor sharp abs, or you who's 150 kilos and now you're 149 kilos. That 7,700 calorie deficit sucks equally for both of you. So there's no advantage when it comes to fat loss. There's no learning. There's none of this mutation, extra cell nuclei that does things for you. So you just get no credit for that. Fat loss is always the same. Easy, fast, and fun.
Yeah, that's what you always say.
Got to tell myself something.
Great.
All right. You happy?
Yeah.
We've covered those topics?
We covered, yeah.
Very good.
Awesome.
All right then. Well, until next time, if you're looking for coaching, I think there's a new link below. We'll have a little questionnaire to see if you want to work one-on-one with us, because I think we're going to have some spots free up in the back end of this year.
Yeah.
But also there's the programs and no bullshit advice and some links to Facebook and mailing lists and Instagrams and I don't know, stuff. Have a look. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.